Climate change is here now, says the UN's report. We can see it in fish migration patterns, in melting Arctic sea ice, in shrinking Himalayan glaciers like this one I visited last year. We can see the damage to corals. In short, the authors say, man-made climate change is a fact.
What the report is saying is parts of climate change are reversible. Things have happened which we won't be able to turn the clock back. But there's an awful lot of things that if we act now and reduce our carbon emissions, we can prevent it getting worse.
We're likely to get more severe floods in future as warmer air holds more moisture, the report says. It urges politicians to cut emissions of CO2 to slow the warming. But at the document's launch in Japan, the authors said we must also adapt to the inevitable future changes to the climate.
It's not that we're talking about identifying a particular thing that's going to happen in a particular place at a particular time. It's understanding how to be prepared in two critical ways. One critical way is in decreasing the amount of climate change that occurs, and the other is in finding a way to cope as effectively as we can with the climate changes that can't be avoided.
Here's a small move towards adaptation to climate change. On Exmoor, they're building mini dams to block drainage channels dug previously to improve farm productivity. They're trying to catch water in the moss to prevent flooding. This sphagnum moss stores 20 times its own weight in water, and every drop of rain that's caught up here doesn't end up in a flood downstream. We can improve farming too. Here in Cranfield University, they've created artificial mini fields and switched on the rain. In the plot on the left, the soil's compacted by farm machines. See how the water runs off. Compacted fields contribute to flooding.
I think we need to be smarter about how we manage our soils and manage our land. I think that certainly good soil management is the key to absorbing some of these rainfall events, so to mitigate or reduce the impacts of some of the flooding that we've been having.
So there are things we can do, but adapting to climate change does have its limits, the report says.
If we see a 4 degrees C rise in temperature, we expect to see substantial extinctions, widespread impacts on ecosystems, large threats to agriculture and food security, disruption of water resources.
Extreme warming would also melt the Greenland ice cap. Critics say today's report is alarmist. They say the climate simply won't warm that much. The UN panel says we have to make sure that it doesn't. Roger Harriman, BBC News.